بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. Everybody together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلوات. Inshallah, this year will be the year of the reappearance of our beloved Imam Mahdi Ajalallah Ta'ala Faraj Sharif with the blessing of another loud salawat. Inshallah, all of us gathering tonight to commemorate the martyrdom of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam will be amongst the companions of Imam Mahdi with the blessing of another loud salawat. Life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam has many lessons for each and every one of us. Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they are not only a historical figure that we just talk about them to exist within history and talk about what they did and not learn anything from those actions, from those words, from those teachings, and to apply it to our daily life. Ahlul Bayt each one of them, they are schooled. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala established 14 schools for us. Each one of them teaching us different lessons within this life. And their teaching was not only for 1400 years ago, their teaching is applicable today, and their teaching is applicable 1000 years from now, and their teaching can completely revolutionize one's personal life toward much better personality. But unfortunately, we don't examine the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, keeping in mind that we can learn something from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Commemorating their martyrdoms, very good, we must. Celebrating their birthday, we must. But what we are getting out of these commemoration, why we are here tonight, is it only to just come and commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, and inshallah shed some tears for the oppression that he faced, and after that we leave? Imam Hassan alayhi salam was only for us from the time of the lecture began and time to end, or no? Imam Hassan's teaching and style of living that he prescribed for you and I should be with us as soon as we leave here. It should become part of our daily life. For every minute of our life, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam have a teaching that they want us to do something for ourselves. When you go to the doctor and he gives you a prescription, believing that the doctor is a good doctor, believing that the prescription is the best prescription, is the first step that one can take. What is the next level? Is to take the prescription. Some people like me, I'm very lazy when it comes to medicines. Either I delay and delay and delay of taking the medicine, buying it, and then delay and delay in taking the medicine, and I don't pay attention that much that every 8 hours I have to take the medicine. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. The doctor gave me a prescription. One day I take, one day I'm in school, I forget. So until now, I still cough. Because I did not apply the teaching of the doctor, the prescription that the doctor gave it to me for my life. I'm going to be sick for another week or 10 days maybe. I'm not going to be cured on myself. I have to do something for this sickness that I have. Within our social life, within our personality, we also have sickness. Jealousy is a sickness. Bad temper is a sickness. Envy is a sickness. Bad mouthing is a sickness. Gossiping is a sickness. Lying is a sickness, and so on and so forth amongst the sins. They are internal sins, internal sickness, internal disease that is not obvious. We don't see it. And we have to be very careful, because those internal illnesses, those diseases can destroy our dunya and also our akhirah. If I get a cancer, only my life will be in trouble, and I will have a miserable life, if we can call it miserable, in this dunya. When I die, everything finishes. But if I die with ignorance, with jahl, not knowing, if I die with envy and jealousy, if I die with arrogance and takabbur, and so on and so forth, it's going to ruin this dunya and akhirah. In salah, in qunut, we say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. Oh Allah, give us good in hasana, in dunya and akhirah. But our action is completely the opposite of requiring and inquiring hasana. We say it and we have to work toward it. Oh Allah, give me millions of dollars, but I'm sitting home, I'm not working. He's not going to give you the money this way. You have to go work hard, put the effort, and then He's going to give you as much as He thinks is your limit and your capacity. So going back to the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Let's have dawah salawat by the name of Imam Hassan. I've taken 3-4 ahadith from the life of the Imam, and we can see that inshallah from tonight onward how it changes our life completely if it's practiced. If it's not practiced, we are going to go home, it will be same scenario as before. And it is difficult. I tell you, it's difficult, but it is not impossible. It's doable. Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they did it. The companions of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they did it. Our maraja currently are doing it, so it is doable. We have people who are doing it, but needs practice. It needs discipline. A sister came to me and she said, I'm feeling away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The level of my religiosity, my iman is decreasing and I can feel it. What can I do? Here and there I read Quran, here and there I read Zakat Ashura, here and there I pray my prayers, but I don't see the effect right away. I told her, when your leg or hand breaks, the time that it takes for one of your body part to break is less than a minute. You fall on your hand, breaks. Or cuts, it takes less than a minute for your body part to get a deep cut. But how long does it take for this place to heal? It's going to take a long time. You have a broken arm, which it took 1 minute, but it's going to take a month and month and month to have a cast for your hand to heal. I have a big cut here all the way. It happened within a matter of minutes. But it took 4 months to heal. So when I commit sin, same thing. And I'm being away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the same thing. One sin, like a domino effect. Next, another sin, and another sin, and another sin. I want right away, with one prayer, all of them to heal. And I don't have the preparation for it. I want one dua I do to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, give it to me. I just prayed, Allah, didn't you see me? I just prayed my prayer on time after maybe 1 month or 2. Why my prayers are not answered? I told her you have to do something continuously. And we have within our tradition doing a'mal 40 days. Why 40 days? The effect of those 40 days that it will have on us. Reading Zakat Ashura 40 days. Reading Quran 40 days. Fasting Ramadan 30 days. So it takes time for you to recover from where you were. So the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, I do it once, I have to do it twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 times for me to see the effects. I had talked with parents in LA, and the problem that majority of the parents they have with their kids. and the upbringing of the kids, I told them some advices, do this, don't do do's and don'ts. And then they call me within a week or two, Sheikh, we applied it didn't work. I told them, you had one kind of mindset of upbringing your kids for past 17 years. Right now you need within 2 weeks for them to completely change? No, it's going to take time. So within the teachings of Ahl Bayt and the hadith that we will talk inshallah from the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, we'll see that it's going to take time and practice on a daily basis for us to see the results. Very important point before getting to a hadith. Should we work for the result, or should we just do the work for the sake of working? What do you think? Should we work for us to see the result, or should we work for the sake of good deeds to be good deeds? Either we see the result or we don't see the result. From the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, the life of the Prophet, and the stories of Quran, we find out that we should not work for the result. We should work for the good deeds. We should do good deeds for the sake of good deeds. Either we see the result or we don't see the result. That's to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because when we do a good deeds and we see the result, we're going to do more. Why we did it again? We didn't because it was good. No, because we saw the result. So it's no longer qurbatan ila Allah, it's qurbatan ila result. I want to get nearness to the result again. Let me give you an example. If we tell the kids, at night time, and there's a time for you, your parents tell you to take the trash out. As soon as you take the trash out, Allah gives you $1,000. The kids will be standing by the trash. As soon as you drop a bottle of water in the trash, they'll take it out because they need that $1,000. Because they see the result right away. If they tell us as adults that if you stay awake from Salat al-Subh until sunrise, Allah gives you $1 million as soon as sun rises, nobody will go to sleep. Even though if you slept 1 hour before Salah, you're not going to go to sleep. Because you're waiting for that $1 million. But mu'minun, who are those believers? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Believers are those who believe in unseen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Ahlul Bayt have told us, if you want increase in sustenance, if you want increase in rizq, which one branch of rizq is financial, aql is another branch of rizq, sabr and patience is another branch of sustenance and rizq, having good kids are part of good rizq. Allah says, if you want rizq, I'll distribute the rizq from Salatul Subh until sunrise. This is the time I'll give you. If you're a kafir, you stay awake that time, Allah gives you. If you're a believer, Allah gives you. Allah gives. Who is there to get? Same thing for the younger generation. Obey your parents. If you disobey your parents, that is the worst sin that one can commit. It ruins their life in this dunya and akhirah. And I can give you at least 10 examples of the life of the people that I have witnessed myself, how they treated their parents and what happened to them. I have seen it myself. I tell you, none of them have a good living. Whatever they want to do as job or career, they start one career, it goes down. Down. Another career, it goes down. This business, they lose money. Another business, they lose money. They don't know where is the problem. Go and see how they treated their parents when they were young. And on the other hand, I have example of those people who were good to their parents. And in return, we have a saying in Farsi that they touch the ash, it becomes gold. How it did it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts this kind of equation next to one another. If you want to touch the ash to become gold, parents. Satisfaction of the parents are guaranteeing your future. Going back. Life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Which the only thing, unfortunately, majority of us have heard about Imam Hassan, that he was weak and he signed a treaty with Muawiyah because he couldn't go to battlefield and he had many wives. And that's about it. And he was poisoned by his wife. Do we know much more of the life of Imam? 50 and some years to the life of Imam. How much more do we know from his life? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the best of His creations, which are Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam, for us to only know these couple of elements about the life of Imam? This is it? Or there is much, much, much more into their life, which unfortunately, us the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, us the followers of Imam Hassan and Mustafa, we have done injustice to Ahlul Bayt, same as the amount of injustice done to Ahlul Bayt as their enemies. How we have done injustice? We love them. How many hadith do we know from the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam? How many? Answer to yourself. How many hadith do we know from the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, and we have applied it within our life and we have seen the difference? Life of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, life of Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, life of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, life of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, and so on and so forth. Rest of the Imams, how many hadith and teachings do we know from them? Barely. Some of the youth, they don't know the names of the Imam, and that is the fault of us sitting on this member and the adult, which only talk about the first couple of Imams and Imam Mahdi. The Imams in between, I don't think they existed. Maybe they were good people. Going back to the life of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. Let's have a loud salawat by his name. If you put the amount of energy that I as one individual putting in my talk, in your salawat, it will be louder than this. You've heard this narration many times, but it's good to hear it again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses stories of the life of the prophets many times, not only once. He brings it in one chapter, then He brings it in another chapter, and then He brings it in another chapter. If you look at Quran, and you don't know if it's Quran, you think it's a book for Jews, as the amount of stories of the life of Prophet Musa that is in Quran. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. Because the more we read, the more we hear it, new ideas come to our mind. How should we deal with a scenario? So let's look at this hadith, how beautiful hadith it is, which talks about history and gives us a beautiful psychological lessons that we can apply and enhance our community, the Muslim community that is going toward chaos and corruption and oppression. If we change, as Quran says, وَلَا يُغَيِّرُ اللَّهُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. We have to change. أَنَّ شَامِيًّا, the hadith starts, أَنَّ شَامِيًّا رَآهُ رَاكِبًا, a person from Sham came and to Medina saw Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam on a horse or a camel, on a ride. فَجَعَلَ يَلْعَنُهُ. People of Sham, Muawiyah brainwashed them completely that they hated Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam to the bone. People of Sham, and the amount of hatred that they had toward Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam is not like no other. How much they hated Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. And they were the people who came and killed Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Why? بُغْضًا لأبيه. Because we hate your father, we kill you. That's the reason we come. So you see how much hatred was implanted in them by Muawiyah against Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And we see and face the same problem today. Those who kill Shia, you see that was rooted 1400 years ago. They are within the same generation of those people. How much they hate. And how much that hate has changed, has blockened and has made hard their hearts. Right now, me and another Sheikh, we went to do the biha, to cut a sheep for us. As soon as we got there, we had one of the brothers, he said, I told him I won't be able to cut the sheep. I know how, but I've never done it, and I have very soft heart, I can cut the sheep. He said, okay, I'll do it for you. As soon as he was about to cut the sheep, the Sheikh that was with us and me, we looked away. The guy started laughing. He said, you want to join the army of Imam and you don't have the heart to see one sheep being cut? You have to have a little stronger heart. I told him, I can't see. But the same, you see people come and they behead people and they're happy about it. See what generation was raised from this movement that Muawiyah established, which is continuously for 1400 years. So this person comes, brainwashed completely, فَجَعَلَ يَلْعَنُهُ. He started cursing Imam Hassan alayhi salam to his face. Imam Hassan, the grandson of the prophets, فَجَعَلَ يَلْعَنُهُ. He started cursing. It wasn't one curse. فَجَعَلَ, continuously. Continued, one after one. So it took amount of time. Minute, 2, 5 cursing, 10 cursing. So it wasn't only one curse and move on. وَالْحَسَنُ لَا يَرُدُّ. And Imam Hassan didn't reply. He let him finish. What do we learn? From one word. وَالْحَسَنُ, 2 words. La, 4. La yarud. Imam did not reply. What do we learn? If somebody comes and curses you, don't reply right away. Let him finish. How difficult is that to do it? As soon as somebody says 1, we put 5 on the top and we give back. If that is the bare minimum, if we don't punch them in the face, which that is the typical. How dare you curse me? And then fight, and then people gather around us, and we have raised within this norm in the school. As soon as 2 people fight, we get around them, fight. Because this is what we are going toward as a society. We love seeing people fight. If we find within high school there's a fight, one tells another, after school in the parking, 2 people are fighting. Let's stand and watch them. Look at how society is raising our generation, and look at the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, how they are raising a generation. وَالْحَسَنُ لَا يَرُدُّ. Imam did not reply. فَلَمَّا فَرَغَ. He was freed from cursing. You know, sometimes you have animosity to someone else, you start talking and say bad mouthing them, and suddenly it's okay. I was able to get all of these hatred out. فَلَمَّا فَرَغَ أقبل الحسن. Imam approached him. فَسَلَّمَ عَلَيْهِ. Imam said salam to him. Where do we see this? Where do we see this teaching? I was in London, Ontario, Canada for Muharram. Group of youth came to me. We had like 90, 95 of them. I had a Q&A. One of the individuals asked a very good question. A young sister. She said, how can we defeat and how can we answer the Islamophobia that is happening now in this country? How should we interact with it? How should we deal with it? I told them, follow the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Be good Shia, you don't have to do anything else. Just be good Shia. Be the followers of Ahlul Bayt, you don't have to do anything else extra. Because your akhlaq, your personality, your morality, the way you behave, the way you present yourself within a society, it talks very good, and that cleans a lot of Islamophobia that is in the minds of the people. That cleans it. Because people are observing us. They know us, we are Muslim. As far as the sisters wearing hijab, people are seeing us as a Muslim. And for us men, it's in our forehead that we are Middle Eastern. And since you're Middle Eastern, you're Muslim. So whatever we do, we are showing what Islam is. We always say, well, media is in the hand of the enemy. They're always bad-mouthing us. It's all about hate. Okay, what did us as a Muslim do? What did we do in this country? Millions of Muslims and the followers of Ahlul Bayt in this country, if we all did the same thing together, we wouldn't be able to change. فَسَلَّمَ عَلَيْهِ. If a young individual in the college, in high school, at work, somebody comes and curses you, and he says peace upon you, how that changes that person within a matter of a minute. I'm cursing him and he says peace on me. Where have you learned this information? That becomes the time that you're going to start teaching. فَسَلَّمَ عَلَيْهِ وَضَحِكَ. Allahu Akbar. Imam started laughing. Not فَتَبَسَّمَ. He didn't smile. فَضَحِكَ. He started laughing. Psychologically, he's playing with him. Imam taught us how to deal with a person who has anger and who approaches us. Not smiling, laughing. Why? What does laughing do to you? What does laughing do to you? And what does laughing do to the other person? Go online on YouTube and find laughing and laughter. Laughter is contagious. It's contagious. There is a beautiful video done, a documentary and a social experiment. There's a guy stands in the metro and he has his phone in his hand and he starts watching something, has a headphone, starts laughing. Everybody's looking at him weird, like, what's up with this guy? And he started laughing and laughing and laughing. Whole metro start laughing because of him. They don't know why they're laughing, but it's contagious. They all started laughing within a matter of 2-3 minutes. Go find it. I saw it myself. It's on YouTube. Everybody started laughing. Laughing is contagious, number one. Number two, laughter can stimulate many organs. Laughter enhances your intake of oxygen, rich air, stimulates your heart, lungs, and muscles, and increases endorphin that are released by the brain, active and relieve your stress response. When you laugh, somebody comes and starts bad-mouthing you, what happens to us? We're going to get a tight chest, we're going to get angry, we're going to get high blood pressure, and then we want to do something about it. How dare you? But Imam uses it otherwise. Laughter. More oxygen in, I'm relaxed, no stress, I'm relieved. I'm going to talk with him not based on emotion, based on my logical reasoning. Imam, we believe Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they're infallible. Imam control the emotions. We cannot. Imam is teaching you and I, if this scenario happened, start laughing. How many problems we have within wife and husband when they have, one says one thing, the other person says, how dare you tell me this? Screams, back and forth, and we don't say what happens in the end. Brothers, what happened to them? Two brothers in the house, one says to something else, how dare you curse me? Start fighting. Families, within the society, within our social life, and so on and so forth. Somebody says something to us that we disagree with, we get tight. We're like, oh, I want to say something back. And then the whole community, because of two people fighting with one another, not knowing, not learning from the hadith of Ahlul Bayt that they are for us, you see community becomes split. One group of people come one place, the other group goes another place. Why? Two people fought, and then two people told their wife, and then the wife said to other people, and the guy said to other, and how many of these scenarios I have seen? فضحك فقال أيها الشيخ. When he laughed, he calmed himself, he made the other person calm. That no matter what you do to me, I'm still calm. And I want you to be ease. Whatever happened has happened. Ease. أظنك غريبة. I think you're a stranger. You don't have anybody here. وَلَعَلَّكَ شَبَّهْتَ. Allahu Akbar, what a beautiful teaching the Imams of Ahlul Bayt they have. For every word that they use, there is a reason behind it. They don't exaggerate. They don't say something but they meant something else. They don't say something and they didn't know the meaning of the word. They know what they're talking about. When Imam says, وَلَعَلَّكَ شَبَّعْتَ, he knows what that word will do to that person, and he will know if that is applied by us, what will happen. I think, oh Sheikh, I think you're confused. I think you don't know who you're talking about. You're confused. You're about to say to someone, give him the benefit of doubt. Why give him benefit of the doubt? Because Imam is about to tell him things that will change him. Imam is leaving a room for him to ask for forgiveness and come back. Sometimes when we do something wrong, and then we find out it was wrong, but there is no room for forgiveness and repentance, we just keep doing it. Because we don't see any way going back. Imam is giving him a room to come back. وَلَعَلَّكَ شَبَّهْتَ. You might be confused. You were about to tell this to someone else and you don't know who I am. Which he didn't know who Imam was. He knew this was Hassan ibn Ali, but he did not know who Hassan ibn Ali is. You know him as a person, But he doesn't know that this person as being is Hassan ibn Ali. But he doesn't know who is Hassan ibn Ali truly is. Which us, we don't know who truly Hassan ibn Ali is also. وَلَعَلَّكَ شَبَّهْتَ فَلَوْ اسْتَعْتَبْتَنَا اعْتَبْنَاكَ. If you ask for forgiveness, we'll forgive you. Whatever you said, you said. Whatever came out of your mouth, don't worry about it. If you ask for forgiveness, we'll forgive you. وَلَوْ سَأَلْتَنَا, since you are a stranger, وَلَوْ سَأَلْتَنَا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ. If you ask us, we'll give you. Has nothing to do, did you mean me? Do you know what did you say? How dare you say no? If you want, we'll give you. وَلَوْ سَأَلْتَنَا, if you ask us, we'll give you. وَلَوْ اسْتَرْشَدْتَنَا أَرْشَدْنَاكَ وَلَوْ اسْتَحْمَلْنَا أَحْمَلْنَاكَ. If you want, we can give you loads of things and many things. وَإِن كُنْتَ جَائِعًا أَشْبَعْنَاكَ. Since you're a stranger in this city, if you are hungry, we're going to feed you. وَإِن كُنْتَ عُرْيَانًا كَسَوْنَاكَ. If you don't have clothes, enough clothes, we will give you clothes. وَإِن كُنْتَ مُحْتَاجًا أَغْنَيْنَاكَ. If you are needy, you need wealth, we'll give you. وَإِن كُنْتَ طَرِيدًا أَوَيْنَاكَ. If you're lost, we'll give you shelter. وَإِن كَانَ, after Imam mentioning 1, 2, 3, food we'll give you, shelter we give you clothes. وَأَنَّ لَكَ حَاجَةً. Then Imam give him a vague, very open-ended concept. وَإِن كَانَ لَكَ حَاجَةً فَقَضَيْنَاهَا. If you have any needs, I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I specified 5 things if you need. But وَإِن كَانَ لَكَ حَاجَةً فَقَضَيْنَاهَا. Whatever haja you have, we'll give it to you. First, Imam led him to finish. Number 1. Let the other person, we had a debate today in our Saturday class. This is what I told them. I told them, when you get into debate and dialogue, you want to prove a point, let that person finish his talk and then talk. Don't interrupt one another. And then Imam continues, and I grant all of your needs and so many other things, which I want to get to other hadith. And then فَلَمَّا سَمِعَ الرَّجُلْ كَلَامَهُ بَكَى. When the person hears Imam reacting to how he dealt with him, he started crying. How long did this conversation take place? Akhlaq. Akhlaq. Within a matter of minutes, you can make the worst enemy of yours. See what he says. فَلَمَّا سَمِعَ رَجُلٌ. When the person hears Imam talking to him, ثُمَّ قَالَ أَشْهَدُ أَنَّكَ خَلِيفَةُ اللَّهِ. Truly you are the representative of Allah. في أرضه, on this earth. في أرضه الله أعلم حيث يجعل رسالته. Allah knows best to give the mission to whom. وَكُنْتَ أَنْتَ. Look at this. You, وَكُنْتَ أَنْتَ وَأَبُوكَ. You and your father. أَبْغَضُ خَلْقِ اللَّهِ إِلَيَّ. You were the worst people in my eyes. I hated you guys the most, you and your father. See how much Muawiyah worked to make people hate Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. How much he worked tirelessly. Millions of dinars he paid to make people hate Ali ibn Abi Talib. كنت أنت وأبوك أبغض خلق الله إلي. Until now, I hated you guys the most. وَالآن, now, أنت أحب خلق الله إلي وحول رحله. You are right now the best and I love you the most on this earth after 3, 4 words of talk and akhlaq. If that works with the enemy, I as a husband, if I treat my wife with the same akhlaq, she won't be same as this person. That can change. I as a wife, if my husband is even like this person, with akhlaq, I can change him. Akhlaq. The person that hated you the most, couple of words, akhlaq, laughter, Imam changed him 180 degrees. Imam didn't give him there anything. He said, I will. If you want, I'll give you. If you're needy, I'll give you. If you want money, I'll give you. If you don't have clothes, I'll give you. He hasn't given him yet. But with him saying it and with akhlaq, how that person changed. If we just apply this hadith, first reading it, which unfortunately, majority of us, we are uneducated about the life of Imam Hassan and the life of Ahl Bayt. Or maybe we are educated, but when it comes to practice, shaitan is there for us and we can apply it. As soon as she says something, I get angry and I move on. And vice versa. With the kids, same thing. Kids with the parents, same thing. Brothers and sisters, the same thing. And so on and so forth. Action plan. As soon as somebody badmouthed us, as soon as somebody made us angry, at least do one thing. If you forget all of these, at least start laughing. That's the bare minimum we can do. Start laughing. That releases your stress. That calms you down so you will not reply by emotion. You see how many things we learn from this amount for this one hadith? We learn history. We learn how to interact with people, which unfortunately majority of people are lacking people skill. I by myself and with Allah, maybe I have a good relationship, but we are lacking people skill. Two people get together for one project, drama starts. Gets to three people, Allahu Akbar. And so on and so forth. We lack people skill. And this hadith, the teachings of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam is teaching us people skills. We go and buy books by all of these non-Muslim scholars that they write about how to gain influence people and to gain, for example, Dale Carnegie. Buy it and read it. It's a very good book to read. All of those, if you read it, I was reading the Dale Carnegie's book, How to Influence People and Gain Friends. Everything that he said, I wrote a hadith of Imam next to it. And I have the book. Their teachings, there's a hadith of Imam 1400 years ago, taught us this. Let's go to another hadith. I have many hadith, and that's the difficulty of, you don't know what difficulties we go through in preparing lecture. We read one hadith, we say, oh my God, the community needs this hadith. We go to the next hadith, oh my God, the community needs this hadith also. Next hadith, well definitely we need this hadith. So eliminating a hadith to come to 3-4 hadith for 1 hour lecture is a very, very, very difficult job. Another beautiful hadith. قال الحسن بن علي عليه السلام, let's have salawat by his name. If you're not tired, let's have another loud salawat. عجبت لمن يتفكر في مأكوله. How many of us we care, which we should? How many of us we pay attention, which we should? How many of us we have concern, which we should, about the food that we eat? We must. We must eat foods that are healthy. Other than halal and haram, that we have to eat halal and we have to research to find halal food. That is a must, wajib. Then we have to find a food that doesn't have food coloring in it. We have to find a food that doesn't have fat in it, and so on and so forth. We have some people that they really get into detail of the food. No problem. We should. For our health, for our deen, we should. But Imam says, I'm wondering, for those people who think about what they intake as food, وَلَا كَيْفَ لَا يَتَفَكَّرُ فِي مَعْقُولِهِ, and he doesn't think about anything that is feeding his brain. Whatever he reads on social media, whatever he reads on Ayatollah Google, whatever he reads and he hears from people sitting next to one another, he takes it for granted. This is it. This is right. And that becomes a personality. That's become an ideology. That's become a lifestyle. Why? Because we did not pay attention. We didn't think what we are feeding our brain. ولا كيف لا يتفكر في معقوله فيجنب بطنه ما يؤذيه. He's concerned about his stomach, not to take something that will hurt him. ويودع صدره ما يرضيه, and he leaves his mind and his chest, his knowledge, to take whatever it is. He reads a book, wow, this is right. Okay. He takes another book, well, this is right too. We take it. He listens to one lecture, well, this is right, we'll take it. He takes to another lecture. We have Friday sermon, Friday khutbah. I talked about finding truth for 10 sessions only on the topic how to find the truth in everything we're about to do. How to find this is haq and this is batil. Whatever has been said, we have to go and research. As a young, as old, as female, as male, we have to research about the information. Is this halal? Of course it's halal. How do you know? Well, I don't know. It's halal. Is this concept haram? Of course it's haram. How do you know? I know. I think it's haram. We start giving fatwa halal and haram based on our own desires, on our own instinct. I think this thing doesn't look good to me. Well, it's haram, or it's halal, or I don't like it, and so on and so forth. Think, read, gain knowledge about the field that we're living in, and where other best place we can get and gain the knowledge than the school of Ahlul Bayt. Where else we can find? They have given us everything that we need. They have given us everything that we need. They have given us everything that we need, but we have abandoned Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. Action plan number 2. Let us examine our ideology. I asked a 25-year-old young guy, why do you believe that Allah exists? His reply was, my grandmother used to tell us bedtime stories, and she told us, God exists, so I say God exists. I told him, do you think that you can argue with this with your son if he comes and says, why do we believe God exists? You can tell him, my grandmother told me. And then your son or you yourself go to school and you start reading about evolution and atheism and so on and so forth. You start having shaky belief. Ahkam, the same thing. Akhlaq, the same thing. We have to start reading, gaining knowledge, seeing what we are feeding our brain. YouTube is good. Social media is good. But not everything is on there is right. For myself, when I prepare a lecture, when I hear a lecture from another scholar much higher than me, he says in such and such book, it talks about this. I myself go get the book and I find it. Well, this is the book? Okay, yes, I agree. So, since this scholar said, I'm not going to take it for granted. No, I'm going to go see it myself. I was preparing the lecture. I heard a lecture that says the laughter makes this, and this. I was like, let me go search. Does laughter gives us this abilities? Will it have effect or not? I cannot just come say something and then move on. Another hadith, which relates to our master and the Imam of current time, Imam Mahdi ajalallah ta'ala. After Imam Ali alayhi salam was murdered, Imam Hassan got on the minbar and he started giving lecture. And another time he gave the similar lecture about why he accepted and signed the treaty with Muawiyah. Imam said, after he said Alhamdulillah and talked, Imam said, أيها الناس إن معاوية زعم أني رأيته للخلافة. Muawiyah thinks that I saw him worthy of the Khilafah. And then continued, we don't want to get a history. I have this that I want to put my focus. لو أن الناس. The same hadith can be said, and if we hear it from our heart, we can hear this being said by Imam al-Zamana. We cannot hear it with our ears, but if we open our heart, Imam al-Zamana is saying the same thing. لو أن الناس بايعوني. If people would have pledged allegiance to me. Have we pledged allegiance to our Imam or not? Sheikh, we cannot see the Imam. How can we pledge allegiance to the Imam that we cannot see? Pledging allegiance with the Imam that, oh Imam, whatever I do in life, I want your satisfaction. I want you to influence my life. I'm about to do something. I should think, Does this satisfy Imam Zamana or not? If not, I'm not gonna do it. This is the way you pledge allegiance to Imam Zamana. I'm about to say something. I'm about to go somewhere. A young brother came to me and he asked me, Sheikh, I have two options. Either this or that. Either study here or go abroad. There's a good program. Abroad gives me more money and better position. Should I take this or abroad? He came yesterday. I told him, see which one of them will get you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and which one of them will get you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one that takes you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even it does give you more money, more wealth, more position, better status within the community. What is the benefit of it? What is the benefits? I get better position, I get money, I get wealth, 80,000, 100,000, $1 million a year. I told him, if you go to the other place, will your level of Iman stay the same or it will decrease? He said, well, my parents are not going to be with me. And I don't think we have a masjid in there. I told him, so hence what's going to happen? He said, my family are the ones that are being with me and I come to the masjid and stuff. That keeps my level of Iman at a good level. I think if I go there, my parents not being there, and shaitan influencing me, and I'm being alone, and there is no masjid, and there is no lecture, there is no dua kumain, there is no salatul jum'ah, I'm going to lose my iman. I told him, if you're asking my advice, no. He said, I take your advice, but let's do istikhara. I told him, okay, make intention. Today morning I did istikhara for him, and he came bad. I texted him bad. He's like, Sheikh, I knew it. That is the way we pledge allegiance with Imam Zamana. Imam says, لَوْ أَنَّ النَّاسْ بَايَعُونِي. If people would have pledged allegiance to me. Why Imam Zaman Ajal Allah Ta'ala Faraj Sharif has not reappeared until today? Why? Because people have not pledged allegiance to him. Who have we pledged allegiance to? For kids, college students, the only thing that they have pledged allegiance to is school. Brother, why don't you come to the masjid? Sheikh, school. School is killing me. Brother, why don't you come to masjid? Work. Sheikh, I work 50 hours a week. Sisters, why don't you come to work? That is the people that we have pledged. Am I saying not to gain education? I'm gaining education myself. Am I saying not to work? I work myself. Am I saying not to have free time and have entertainment time? I entertain myself also. But who are we pledging allegiance to? You need the sisters, inshallah, to pay a little bit more attention. Let's have it loud salawats. Work, we must, but that's not a priority. Priority is deen. Priority is Imam Zamana. Priority is our salah. Brother comes to me, he says, I don't know, Sheikh, I work. He was telling me, young guy, he was telling me last time, I work and work, I get good money, but I don't know, something happens, I lose the money. Not losing, like something happens, car breaks, I have to, I get sick, I have to pay for this. This. I told him, do you pray your prayers? He's like, Sheikh, how can I pray? I'm at work. I'm just working. And while I'm eating, I'm working. I told him, that's the reason. Salah, there is time for work. There is time for salah. There is time for entertainment. There is time for family. I put so much focus on salah, forget work. No. I put so much time on work, forget salah. No, there should be a balance. لَوْ أَنَّ النَّاسِ بَايَعُونِي وَأَطَاعُونِي. And they obeyed me. وَنَصَرُونِي. And they aided me. لَأَعْطَتْهُمُ السَّمَاء قَطْرَهَا. The heavens would have gave them the blessings. وَالْأَرْضُ بَرَكَاتَهَا. The earth would have gave them their barakah. Don't we see this in our countries? Always pray for rain. Why? Why people have to pray for rain? Allah's mercy will be upon them, but those people did not do pledge of allegiance with Imam. They called themselves Muslim, followers of Ahlul Bayt. I see my life to be a miserable life. Why so? Because I have not pledged allegiance with the Imam. I have not obeyed the Imam. I don't know what Imam wants from me. How many of us we know what Imam Zaman wants from us? Do we know it? Do we know it? Do we know? Sheikh, we don't know because Imam Zamana is in occultation, we cannot communicate with him. There are ahadith of Imam Zamana that has told us what to do. There are people that they can tell us what to do if we want. If we look for it, we can find it. And that's the verse of Quran. If we strive hard, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. If we strive day and night, that becomes a priority for me. How can I obey Imam Zamana? Imam Zamana, I don't see you. I cannot communicate with you. I want to obey you and I want to aid you. How can I obey you? How can I aid you? And I put tireless effort toward it. Allah says, لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ. Indeed, we show them the right path. But I'm just sitting home doing my work, not caring about Imam Zamana, not caring about the religion. Salah, yes or no. Fasting, yes or no. Khums, yes or no. Hajj, maybe. Attending majalis, so on and so forth. Hijab, so on and so forth. Akhlaq, so on and so forth. Imam Zamana, I cannot communicate with you. 2 action plans we gave and we add the 3rd. And there are 2 more hadiths, my time is finished. Action plan number 1 was, anybody remembers? Anybody remembers what was the action plan? Yes. Go ahead. Laugh. If somebody came to you aggressively and he talked to you, he badmouthed you to your face and you saw him, laugh. Laugh. At least let's take one thing from life of Imam Hassan. Laugh, relax, either leave the scene or tell him what Imam told him. I think give him the benefit of the doubt. I think you had a bad day. You as a wife tell your husband comes home, he's angry, he starts screaming. Tell him, I'm sorry, here's a cup of water, a juice. I think you had a tough day. It's okay, just relax. Here's a tea. Just drink, calm down. And vice versa. You come home, the wife starts, tell the wifey, I'm sorry, I think you had a bad day with the kids or you were working and so on and so forth. I really apologize. Here's a smile, let's have it, you and I, we have a tea. We're not going to call Sheikh for not mentioning what we're going to call the Sheikh for. That's one action plan. And the second, let's start seeing what we are feeding our brain, ourselves, and what we are feeding our kids. I attended a seminar in Canada, and I was like, oh my God, us giving them the tablets and the phone, and let them go on and on and on. And inshallah, one of my plans is to bring that guy. He's from our Shia community. He was top at Microsoft. He had many lunch with Bill Gates because what he did with Microsoft. He left everything. They established the first Wadi al-Asr school in Canada. They have almost 600 students right now. And he tells you what Microsoft and all of these YouTube and everything, how they are gearing our kids' mind toward what they want. And he tells you, this is what you see, this is what you see. And when I came home and I started following the trend that he said. To find it, if it's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you will see what the kids are seeing on YouTube and so on and so forth. We give them the tablets, we give them the phone, we trust them. It's not about them, it's shaitan. We trust them. But the shaitan and these devices. So what we are feeding ourselves and what we are feeding our kids, that should become a priority. Imam Hassan alayhi salam was not only oppressed by people being brainwashed during his time to come and curse him and curse Ali ibn Abi Talib. It is very difficult. A person stands in front of you and curses your father. This is very difficult. Knowing who Ali ibn Abi Talib is, it is very difficult. But Imam Hassan alayhi salam, not only he was oppressed in the public and people would not pay attention, he was also oppressed and he was madloom within his own house also. Anytime that us as husbands, we feel difficulties at work, we come home and we talk with our wife, and she tries to release us, she tries to comfort us, and she tries to be there for us. But look at the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, that not only he couldn't talk with people in the street and nobody would listen to him. He also would come at his house and we see what his wife, Ju'da, Allah's curse be upon her, did to Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Ju'da, the wife of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, was ordered by Muawiyah. Muawiyah brought poison from Rome. That the king of Rome said, if you drop one drop of this poison into a lake, it will kill all the lives that is in that lake. It will kill all the fishes if you drop one drop of that poison in the lake. Muawiyah came and gave that poison to Ju'da, and he said to her, if you poison Hassan ibn Ali, I will give you 100,000 dinar. Here's the money. And also I will let you marry my son Yazid. She was tempted. The money and the wealth and the position ruined her mindset, and she was not thinking about what she's doing to the grandson of the Prophet, Hassan ibn Ali alayhi salam. Ju'da came and she brought the poison and put in the water of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Imam Hassan that day, he was fasting. He was about to break his fast. He took the bucket of water. He started drinking water. Right away, the poison had effect on the life and the heart of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. He felt the poison being cutting his liver inside into pieces. And then he didn't call for his wife because he knew who did this. He said, call my sister Zainab Salamullah alayha. Sayyida Zainab Salamullah alayha came. Imam Hussein alayhi salam also came. She came. When she arrived, she saw a big bowl in front of Imam Hassan, and Imam Hassan is vomiting his liver out, and the blood is coming from the mouth of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Sayyida Zainab Salamullah alayha and Imam Hussein, they didn't know what to do. They start shedding tears and tears. Imam Hassan alayhi salam, he advised Imam Hussein and he advised Sayyida Zainab. And this is not the only bowl that Sayyida Zainab Salamullah alayha saw. This bowl was the bowl that she saw the liver of Imam Hassan been cut into pieces into this bowl. Another bowl that she saw was in front of Yazid when they brought the head of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And she saw the head of Imam Hussein and Yazid holding a stick and hitting the teeth of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. Let us all raise our hands and sincerely with our broken hearts and ask, by the blessing of Imam Hassan alayhi salam and by the oppression that Imam Hassan alayhi salam faced, to hasten the reappearance of our beloved Imam. All of us together with a loud voice, inshallah, we recite Dua al-Faraj, inshallah, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten his reappearance. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma kulli waliyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. صلوات.